Welcome back, friends. Now let's discuss about the coronary arteries, the right coronary artery and the left coronary artery and its branches to the myocardium. So first of all, here I will discuss about the right coronary artery and its branches. Right coronary artery. Friends, in the previous video I had discussed about some important terms related to coronary arteries. So please, if you haven't watched that video, please go and watch that to know about the origin and dimensions of coronary arteries. Let's discuss about right coronary artery. So I will draw the diagram of the heart here, right? Then we will put the right coronary artery and its branches. Okay, so let's make our diagram. This is our aorta. Superior vena cava, this is aorta. Our pulmonary trunk. Okay, very simple diagram of the heart. Now look carefully, let's follow about right coronary artery. As I told you in the previous video that coronary arteries arise from the root of aorta, the right and left coronary arteries both. Okay, so this is the pointer for the origin of right coronary artery. Now let's follow this right coronary artery. Okay, this is our right coronary artery. I will tell you about each branch of the right coronary artery. This is the right coronary artery coming towards the margin of the heart, the right margin. Okay, so from here is the first branch, a small branch, and this branch is called the okay, let me make all the branches, then we will name them, right? Okay, this is the first branch, and here is another branch, a small branch, which supplies blood to the sinoatrial node. This branch comes like this, look, comes over the right atrium, and it comes to the margin, and then it turns back. This artery turns back on the posterior aspects of the heart, right? And then here is another branch which comes like this anteriorly in the right margin of the heart. This comes anteriorly in the right margin of the heart. That's why it is called as right marginal artery. Okay, so it then gives small branches and supplies to the myocardium. Clear, friends? Now, this is the artery which is present on the posterior side of the heart, right? So from here is another branch from this posterior artery. This gives another branch which goes down into the interventricular septum on the posterior side. Right, this full color means anterior on anterior side. So this dotted color means these arteries are present on the posterior side. Right, so this is the posterior descending artery or posterior interventricular artery. Right, these were the branches of the right coronary artery. Now let me mention all of them. Friends, this is our right coronary artery. Clear? This is right coronary artery. Then here is a branch, and this branch is supplying blood to the SA node. So that's why we call it sinoatrial nodal artery, right? sinoatrial nodal artery. Then here is a branch, and this branch supplies the blood to the right atrium. So this branch is called the right, as it is on the right side. So this is called right conus artery. Clear? Right conus artery. Okay, then we move forward and we look at this point, that this right coronary artery from the anterior side turns back. From the anterior side, it comes like this and turns back, right? So this is called, it makes a turn, so that's why we call it circumflex artery. So this one is our right circumflex artery. Clear? Okay, up to now the right circumflex artery. Look carefully. The right circumflex artery moves on the posterior side also and supplies the atrioventricular septum from the posterior side. Okay, look, from this central point, this posterior artery gives a branch and it comes down in the interventricular septum. As we know, if these are the two ventricles, so this septum is interventricular septum, right? So this artery comes down into the interventricular septum. Clear? So this artery is also known as posterior interventricular artery or posterior descending artery, right? Let me write its name, that this artery is present on the posterior side of the heart. So we call this artery as posterior, right? Where does it go? Interventricular septum. So that's why we call it posterior interventricular septal artery. Posterior interventricular septal artery, or this is also known as posterior descending, as it comes down, so we call it posterior descending artery. Clear? So these are the branches of the right coronary artery. What are those? The first branch, this one is the right conus artery. Then here is a small branch, this one, this is the second branch. This is sinoatrial nodal artery. Then here comes the third one. This is the right circumflex artery, right? Then here is the posterior interventricular artery, and then here is the right marginal artery. This is the fifth branch. Okay, so this is our right marginal artery. These are the branches of the right coronary artery. Now let's move towards the left coronary artery. That what are the branches of our left coronary artery? Let me make the heart again here. This is our heart. This is SVC, and here is our aorta. Clear? Okay. Right. Okay. Now look, let's follow our left coronary artery. Okay. So let me write here number 2, left coronary artery. So left coronary artery also arises at the left side at the root of the aorta. Now let's follow this left coronary artery. This left coronary artery comes like this. Look carefully, friends. and from here there is a branch. From here there is a branch, and this branch comes on the anterior surface, of interventricular septum. So that's why we call this artery as anterior interventricular septal artery or anterior descending artery. Clear? So this artery comes like this, and at the tip of the heart, at the apex of the heart, this artery comes and turns back. Right? So this artery comes here and then turns back and up and make an anastomosis with the posterior interventricular septal artery. Clear? Like this. This left coronary artery gives branch and the branch is called the anterior interventricular septal artery. It comes like this, and from here it goes back and make anastomosis with the posterior interventricular septal artery. Clear, friends? So this is our, I will tell you about the names. Look, left coronary artery arises at the root of aorta on the left side and goes like this to the left margin of the heart, and then turns back, and this makes the left circumflex artery, as in the case here right circumflex artery. So here also the left coronary artery moves on the left side on the left atrium and then turns back, and this artery is called the left circumflex artery. Okay, I will tell you the name. Next, from here a branch arises, and this branch goes down on the left margin of the heart, That's why we call it as the left marginal artery. Clear? Okay. This anterior interventricular septal artery gives us small branches, and these branches supply the left ventricle and the septum from the anterior aspects. So this is our left coronary artery. Now let's name them. This is our left coronary artery. Clear? This left coronary artery gives off branch, and this branch is called, turns back. This is called the left circumflex artery. And then here is a branch. From this left circumflex artery, the branch comes on the margin on the left side of the heart. That's why we call it the left marginal artery. Clear? Left marginal artery. And this branch is present on the anterior side of the interventricular septum. So that's why we call it as anterior interventricular septal artery. Anterior interventricular septal artery, or this is also known as anterior descending artery, right? This is also known as anterior descending artery. Okay, these are the branches of the left coronary artery. Okay, left coronary artery mostly supplies the left side of the heart, and right coronary artery mostly supplies the right side of the heart, but right coronary artery also gives us some branches to the left side, to the left ventricle or to the left side of the heart also. Okay, so look carefully. Now let me put the right coronary artery also here so that we could get the complete circulation. Okay, let's put our right coronary artery to complete our diagram. This is our right coronary artery. Clear? The first branch was moving towards the S anode, then here was a branch, okay, we will name all of them. This is our right coronary artery and it moves to the right margin of the heart and turns back and give posterior atrioventricular septal artery, right? Then from here branch arises and this branch moves on the right margin of the heart, and this artery is called the right marginal artery. Okay, this is the right marginal artery. Clear, friends? Now look, from here on the posterior side a branch arises and this branch moves down on the interventricular septum and comes down and make anastomosis with the anterior interventricular septal artery on the posterior side. Clear? And they both of them also make anastomosis here. Okay, so look carefully. This is the right side circulation and this is the left side circulation. And what are those branches? I have mentioned all those branches which arises from the left coronary artery or from the right coronary artery. So these small branches which arise from the anterior interventricular septal artery, these are known as diagonal branches of anterior interventricular septal artery. Clear? So friends, this is the coronary circulation or coronary arteries or blood supply, oxygenated blood supply of the heart. Now inshallah in the next lectures I will try to discuss about the venous drainage of the heart. So be with us, don't go anywhere, and it's a humble request that if you haven't subscribed our channel yet, please subscribe our channel. Thank you so much.